Hey guys, Tom at Snake River Base. Wanted to take a minute and talk about bottom skin inlets on canopies and vented canopies, specifically on slider down jumps. There's a certain amount of prevailing wisdom in the base world that having bottom skin inlets is always better on all jumps. I don't actually think that's completely true, and there are certainly good thinking jumpers with a lot of experience who feel the opposite, that having an unvented canopy is actually better for a slider down jump. The reason is not that the canopy pressurizes worse, which it does. An unvented canopy will pressurize slower than a vented canopy. It's because the canopy pressurizes worse that they prefer the unvented canopy. The thing is that the most dangerous part of the opening sequence is immediately after opening as the canopy begins to move forward. If you have an off heading, this is the time in which you must react very quickly and correct the canopy's opening heading. The bottom skin inlets will synchronize the canopy's opening and its forward motion. As the bottom skin expands, the canopy pressurizes and the canopy begins moving immediately. Without the bottom skin inlets, there's a delay. The canopy waffles and takes some time to pressurize. You lose a little bit of altitude during that time, which is undesirable. But it gives you additional reaction time to turn the canopy away from the object strike. That doesn't necessarily mean that we should always jump unvented canopy slider down. There's a couple of good reasons for that too. The argument for having vents is, one, the canopy pressurizes faster and cleaner, and that's certainly also true, which means that you'll be open higher, you'll have more time to fix off headings, more altitude to use in the turns, and also, if you're open very low, you're doing a very low static line object, you have more likelihood to be able to flare the landing. The other reason to prefer vents for a solid object, slider up or slider down, is that in the event of an object strike, the canopy will be less likely to suffer a total collapse. A vented canopy will tend to hit this cliff, slide down, and repressurize. Even if it strikes the cliff again, it will repressurize through the bottom skin inlets. And what we see is a series of micro strike events as the canopy slides down the cliff. Generally, the overall descent rate is lower, and the jumper's injuries are less at the point of impact with the ground. By contrast, an unvented canopy will tend to hit the cliff and be more likely to completely collapse, dropping the jumper the rest of the way to the ground, often resulting in catastrophic injuries. So don't think this is a simple question. It's not simply better to have or to not have vents. Vents will certainly put you lower after opening, give you slower pressurization. Vents will certainly give you more time to react and turn the canopy following an off heading. Vents will also certainly allow you to repressurize the canopy as you slide down the cliff face and make it less likely you're injured in a cliff strike. I don't think there's a solid answer here, and I don't think that anyone knows the answer. Don't let somebody convince you that you're an idiot because you do or don't have vents. Think for yourself, make a decision for yourself after considering all the possible sides. There are definitely jumpers who have more experience than you and I put together who think both ways, that vents are great and that you shouldn't have vents for slider down, especially solid objects. You need to decide for yourself.